Did that work? Yes. Music. Lovely. And now, wait to see if it actually goes live. 20-second delay, here we go. Hi everybody, how's it going? This should be live, and this should just be filler until I go live. If not, I literally don't know what to do. It's taking a long time. Oh no, what do I do? Shit. I mean, YouTube algorithm allowed curse word. Oh no, okay. Yeah, I think I actually might not be live. So, delightful. Hello. Hello. Oh, I'm live. Oh, thank God. That was a delay? That was a delay and a half? Jeez. Okay, alright, fair play, fair play. Mute myself there. Right, hi, what's up, yo? Don't worry, I'm going to shrinken myself and move myself out of the way of the actual Dataslate when we start talking about it. For those of you unaware, because, you know, normally I do pre-recorded, unlive, thank you, yes, that's what I meant. For those of you, normally I do pre-recorded content where what you do is you immediately start talking about what you're supposed to be talking about, right? What kind of delay are you on? Crack. I'm on crack. If you're ever wondering what delay, it's crack. No, I don't know. There you go. It just took ages for the stream to start. That's all. So normally you start talking as fast as you can about whatever it is you're talking about. However, live streaming is a slightly different beast. So you have to wait for people to turn up, because if I say something important now, the majority of people won't hear it, and I will immediately say something like, you know, oh, void dancers have been nerfed. And then about 5 seconds after I say it, people will come in and say, so what's happened to void dancers? It's like, damn. So what we do at the beginning is we just kind of stand here and we talk a little bit, and we create community, we build communities, okay? That's what we're doing here. Yeah, okay, I suppose, I don't know. So if you're watching this back later and you just want to get the gritty rules, probably like skip forward like five minutes if chat doesn't talk, maybe 10 if you know, yeah, if chat talks and I go off on a tangent. So there you go. Cool. Right, what am I doing with my life? Hi chat, how's it going? Say hi. What's up? You could like the video. I don't really know if that matters, but you know, maybe. My chat is too small over on that screen, so I'm gonna have to look here. Sorry. How are the noise levels? Can you hear the noise? I mean, music. And can you hear my voice? I'm not clipping the mic, hopefully. Live only in the same way as Hyrotech Circle. Hey man, Hyrotech Circle have straight up been buffed. I'm just saying it now, okay? Always start with hobby. Yeah, all the hobby I do. Yeah, sure. Let's start with hobby. And done. Yeah, good. No, what am I doing? So, you know, if you guys hobby, that's awesome. Good for you, man. That's cool, that's cool. I refuse to hobby, because, nah. However, what I do instead, my hobby, is learning rules. So, I'm currently reading through Dead Zone again, because of course, Dead Zone is the rule set that Halo Flashpoint is, I'm going to say based on, but literally the same thing. So that's kind of cool. Like, you can play Dead Zone armies in Halo Flashpoint, from everything that we've seen so far. So that's cool, that's cool. So I'm just brushing up a little bit for that, because I've always enjoyed Dead Zone, but the thing is, Dead Zone, literally nobody plays Dead Zone. So, yeah. So I don't really get a chance to play it. So looking into that a little bit. And then I keep trying to figure out whether or not I should actually pay any attention to Warhammer Underworlds. It's something I want to like, but because your attack's like 1 dice, it's just bollocks. It's just bollocks. And it really stresses me out. There you go. Sounds great. All good. Good evening, sir. No noise. I would hope not. I would hope not. It is very quiet in here. But then also, okay, this is going to be my before we get to Kill Team rant. Don't worry, I obviously have a lot to say about Kill Team, but as I say, we've got to kill a bit of time. So Corvus Belli, the guys that do Infinity and coming up soon, Warcrow, just sent me some stuff. So they sent me their new thing that they released, right, which is called the Torchlight Brigade. And like a little data sheet about it, which I like, by the way. I like that they do this. So even if I'm not paying any attention to what's currently happening in Infinity, when this turns up, I immediately know everything, which is quite nice. Other companies don't do that. What can I say about Corvus Belli? They're really interesting as a company. Infinity is really, really interesting. It doesn't matter what they do, I do not like metal models. I think they have lovely models. I think they have a really interesting rule set, but I just don't like metal models. So they send me stuff and I kind of look at it like, oh, that looks cool. Hide it under the shelf. Never look at it again, right? Which actually, by the way, is why I'm really excited about Warcrow coming up soon. Because plastic models, yes. So I'm really excited about that. And also, I feel like, chat, I feel like I'm sorted for sci-fi games, right? I know if I want a light sci-fi game, I know where to go. If I want a full-scale mass battle sci-fi game, I know where to go. If I want short 1 or 2 models deep, I know where to go. If I, like sci-fi, bases are covered. Fantasy? I don't know where to go. Like, yes, I know a few bits and bobs, but yeah. Also, obviously, all of these things do need to have a player base installed, right? Like, that is also important. So, I feel like Fantasy Skirmish, crazy as it sounds when I stop and think about it, I feel like Fantasy should be bigger than sci-fi, but it's not. It's really hard to find multiple good skirmish fantasy games. Anyway, sorry. And that's why I'm excited about Warcrow, because there's going to be plastic models. It's going to be from Corvus Belli, and so I think I might possibly have a kind of skirmish, deep fantasy game. There you go. Right. Justice for the elites. Why do they never get any love? Well, because Kassakin, that's why. Infinity is a really, really great system. I've only played it twice, but I recently, actually, my most recent hobby has been building some Infinity. So that's, I know, metal models. That's why I'm so against metal. It's fresh in my mind. I've just built it. Join the Underworld's train so many factions to CPU. Right? Yeah, that's all that is literally my hobby. Everything just gets sepia washed. Okay, what are we on? 1909. Chaps, chap S is chap I. Let's talk about the balanced data slate. So, Kill Team. That's a game. I play it once or twice. In fact, I play quite a bit of Kill Team. It is still the game that I play the most. Even in my current disinterest in Kill Team isn't in the game, it's in creating content for it. So this is still really exciting. I still really enjoy getting good news for it. I still like thinking about it. Content creation is a different beast, and that's why a little bit of just talking about exciting news is quite fun. So, what are we going to do here? Let's think. So when this released, as soon as I saw that it was updated, to today's date on the downloads page for Kill Team, I didn't look at it. I immediately went over, made a thumbnail, and set this video to go live at this time. Okay? Because I was like, yes, let's do this. I'm excited. I then went back and I read this. Sorry, let me shrink myself so that we can actually see what's going on behind me. There we go. Good enough. Why not? Sure. Oh, God, you're right. Hey everybody, if you're watching the video, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Wow, wasn't that intense? Wasn't that fun? You're welcome. Thank you, thank me. Everybody's thanked, everybody's pleasant. Nice. So I came back and I saw, first thing, core rule modification, jump tests, automatically successful, do not roll. And for a brief moment I thought, oh no, that's the only change they're going to make. Oh no, what have I done? Because I really feel like since our last balanced Dataslate, it hasn't been that long. We had Christmas and I feel like there haven't been that many tournaments. I know we just had Adepticon obviously, which is a shout out to both Shane and Ryan, but Shane specifically came first with Hybrid Circle. I believe Ryan came, I want to say 8th. I want to say Legionary, I can't remember who, sorry, but Shane with Hybrid Circle. So that's awesome. So we have had tournaments, but maybe it's just that I've checked out a little bit of you know, keeping up to date for my channel. But yeah, I just feel like there hasn't been much going on. I don't know. So I saw jump tests. We all know why we need that, because Beta Test is of course a terrible map that needs a lot of help. So I came back and I thought, oh my god, it's only jump tests. That's all they've changed. And I was thinking, how am I going to make jump tests a whole video that I've just set to live stream at 7 PM? But considering I've already done 12 minutes off literally nothing, clearly I would make that happen, no problem. Sorry, we've got a few more chats. I sort of stopped keeping up with the kill team when they nerfed Felgor into utter oblivion. Okay, well, Kinatu Howrath, sir. I'm given to understand they started making a comeback. So, you know, everyone has different opinions about how certain teams perform. And I think it's very common that when your team gets hit with a nerf, you know, the sky is falling. The truth is, the original nerf that Felgor's got was nothing, really. It was almost just bringing them in line with what they probably should have been. It was obviously a nerf, but it was a nerf in the same way that you fix a typo, right? Like, needless to say, Felgor Ravagers have still been an absolutely top tier team since that nerf. Before that nerf, they were nuts. So I understand that when you get that nerf, you're a little bit concerned and kind of you feel like you were there, you were the OG. You don't want to playtest this team that is now objectively worse than it was. Felgor Ravagers were fine. Felgor Ravagers were OP. Then Felgor Ravagers were fine, good. They were good. They were better than fine, okay? Now? Oh, buddy, you were going to want to turn off before we get to Felgor Ravagers. Let me tell you that. Okay. They're currently making sure no one but them and Commando's ever going to come back again. Yeah, we're going to talk about them, yeah. Does that mean we get triple hello later? Well, you know, you have to wait until the end of the video to find that out. I've been very disappointed with this season of Kill Team. There seemed lack of care from GW. Sad days. What do you mean by lack of care? I understand the first part of your sentence. I'm not sure about the lack of care. Remove jump tests entirely and consequently nerf a fast talk. You know, everything's a fast talker nerf in some way. Even the buffs they just got. Okay, right. Anyway, jump tests out of the game. Quick note. Interesting. It's fine. Like, whatever. Clearly, jump tests were a thing they put in before they understood the game, and they kind of have now come to a point where people actually have to make jump tests, which you've literally never had to make before in the game. And they were like, oh yeah, these are dumb, and so they've removed them. Fine. I would fully expect in the next edition of Kill Team, jump tests don't exist. You can just make the move. That's my assumption. Now, this is a bit dull. What they could have put instead is when you fail a jump test, continue the move, but take D3 mortal wounds. Or perhaps jump tests are just a traverse, minus circle from your move. I think personally, having minus circle from your move being a movement thing just kind of ties everything together really nicely. That's what it should have been. But it's cool, so that's fine. Nothing to worry about there. All right, we then go down to Beta Decima itself. I almost don't care. We're about to go to a new edition. Nobody's going to play this. Whatever. However, they have made restricted line of sight. The target operative is not visible instead of obscured. Yeah, great. This is what it should have been. Perfect. Good choice. Moving on. Forward deploys. You can only forward deploy to circle instead of whatever your forward deploy is before. Cool. It seems like they're bringing all forward deploys in line. I'm okay with it. Personally, I don't like to circle as a forward deploy thing. You know what, chat? Tell me if I'm wrong. Chat, tell me if I'm wrong. Is the game finally balanced enough? Are the players playing, moving with such precision that to circle is going to define and win the game over 3 inches? Is that extra inch in forward deploy game defining? If not, then I think that it should either be a move 6 inches or 3 inches. Is the game finely tuned enough that 4 inches is what it should be? You decide. You'll tell me. And back to the chat. Yes. As a Warp Common player, the sky is never falling for me. As if we'd ever be strong enough to need a nerf. You know, when we get there, we can have some talks about that, maybe. They're objectively worse, but by like a crumb. Yeah. Warp Common is going to be super interesting after this. Yeah, I got over metal models the second plastic. Love plastic. Even so, obviously, I quite enjoy War Machine, the world of War Machine. And, you know, 3D printed resin, is it the right way to go? Is it good? Is it bad? After putting together Infinity Metal, which a lot of people consider to be the best metal around, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I love 3D printed. Yeah, 100%, great. I would pay for 3D printed over metal any day. The lack of care is halfway done releases, repeat teams, Chaos SM. I don't know if that's not caring, but I get it. I get what you're saying. A general malaise, we might say there, Will. I like the everything about the change to plastic miniatures other than the weight. That's fair. I get that. Just put a poker chip in the base. I don't know. Lead balls. Let's go new edition. Hopefully that's the revival we need. 4 inches could be quite significant for some people, so I've been told. Obviously, nobody in chat can truly know that. Obviously, 4 inches, I hear that's quite large. So, you know. Okay, moving on. Right. Commandos. Odd that they haven't touched Compendium. That's weird. Surely the Compendium needs a touch, doesn't it? No such thing as good metal minis. I would stay away from them, yeah. Right, so Commandos. I will talk more about this at the end. However, as we go through, I would say keep in mind that my general belief here is that all of these are weirdly timed change. No, not all of them, sorry. Some of these make total sense. A lot of these are very weirdly timed changes. I don't know why they've happened now. Why? Nothing's changed for some of these teams. Why are we getting them now? Anyway. Bomb Squig. Operative. This operative's APL characteristic cannot be positively modified. For its Bomb Squig special rule, make a shooting attack against each other operative within its engagement range, instead of visible to and within circle of it. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, the Bomb Squig is such a dominating piece. This makes sense, I suppose. Cool. Right, moving on, because I don't have much to say about that. I apologise. Chopper equipment. Subtract 1 for the weapon's attack characteristic. Note, Commander Boy operatives are unaffected. That's... Okay, so, by my read, if something already has a chopper, that's fine. A chopper as equipped is not chopper equipment, perhaps. Just throwing that out there, don't know. But yeah, to be -1, so basically people would always put a chopper onto the Breacher Boy, and then you would charge using the Breacher Boy's smash through ability, and then fight with the chopper, which thematically doesn't really make much sense. So I actually like this change. I think, maybe, quite clearly, the... you'd also put it on a Flame Boy, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Clearly, it became a thing that you would always put a chopper onto the breacher. And I don't think it was intended that way. I suspect that back in the days of Commandos versus Vet Guard, both of these teams were pitted against each other in a very, not naive, that's the wrong word, in a very innocent, pure way. And they were all played as they should be, right? I imagine that the designers had a way the teams are played in their mind, and they probably didn't stray too far from it when it comes to that sort of weird tech. So this makes sense. This is a great change. Why has it been 2.5 years? I'm going to ask that question a lot. Just a scratch tactical ploy, excluding bomb squig, and when damage will be inflicted from a normal hit only. Great change. You shouldn't be. I think it's probably generally a pretty good rule as like a concept-based rule that you can't mess around with a crit, right? Like if they get a crit, you can't screw with it. Cool. This makes total sense. And again, don't mess with the bomb squig. Nice. We then go to the Vet Guard. Is it just the 3? Yeah, it's just the 3. Vet Guard, of course, have been absolutely dominating the scene in the past 6 months, so this is a great change. No, they haven't been. Why now? Before we go to the Vet Guard, let's see the chat. Weighted bases would be great. Yes. Metal characters just make me nostalgic. Practically, plastic is so much better. Yep. But my brain tells me the character should be heavy. Just how it... So the thing is, I understand. The weight of metal was fun. The thing is, as soon as I drop them, the paint chips, they explode. They shatter into 1,000 pieces. And that triggers me. And I don't like painting in the first place. So the fact that something ruins the paint job, of which I will only ever do once, really annoys me. Yeah, I use washers and magnets in my bases. Yep, just saying this one episode, metal. Yep. Growing up with metal D&D miniatures, and I just like that feel. I agree. I'm not denying it. Designers didn't have that sweaty try-hard needed for testing. I think that when you are building a game from the ground up, which is what Kill Team is, I think it is probably very, very difficult to test outside of certain parameters, because I suspect, like GW is a company, they weren't given 1,000,000 years to do this. They were probably given a couple of months, right? Like that's the reality of creating games these days. I suspect that due to time constraints and the fact that they would have had to have put an entire compendium together, and probably the entire first, 12 teams, the first year of teams, I think they had to very much decide what they were going to playtest. And therefore, I think it is the correct decision that you play each team as it is intended, and then fix problems later down the line. The question is, why did it take 2.5 years for it to be fixed? Right. Yes, cool. Okay, over to the Vet Guard. So, what do we got? Spotter Veteran Operative's Spotter Action. It treats that enemy operative as if it has an engage order, unless that enemy operative is in cover provided by heavy terrain. Nice. So this... So I actually recently mentioned the Spotter Veteran, although I can never remember where I say this. Anything really, but the spotter is the weirdest spotter. That's the wrong word. Unobscure dude. Auspex, that's the one. He's the weirdest Auspex in the game. He allows you to treat an enemy model as if they are engaged, which means that it doesn't matter what terrain they're behind, you can just shoot them. Certainly, when I play into Vet Guard, on the few times I do, luckily now I know, because I know how Auspex works, I know that most things cannot get around heavy cover. Heavy cover protects you from vantage points. Heavy cover protects you from almost all Auspex. But it didn't work for the Veteran, for the Spotter, sorry. So this just brings it in line. I think this is good. Yeah, there you go. I like bringing things in line. If there isn't a distinct purpose in having something be slightly different from everything else, it should probably all be the same. There you go. So now I can just say, that's the Auspex, and they know exactly what I mean. Instead of, that's the Auspex, and by the way, it doesn't work like every other Auspex in the game. It works like this. Because I don't feel that adds a huge amount. unless of course we get to a point where the game is so perfectly balanced that a change to just the Auspex does define the team. But yeah, this is a good change. Demolition, because, sorry, the Spotter Auspex version is a gotcha even to experienced players of the game. New players to Kill Team have a lot of gotchas to deal with. In theory, once you are at a certain level of Kill Team experience, you should not have gotchas. The Spotter was a gotcha, even to veterans. Demolition Veteran. So the Demolition model, for those that are unaware, is, by many accounts, arguably the single most powerful model in the game. Now, he's also easy to kill, but let's read. Demolition Veteran Operatives detonate special rule. Change the distance requirement to circle instead of square. An operative cannot be a valid target if heavy terrain is wholly intervening. Must be able to draw a cover line from the center of the mine token to any part of the intended target's base without crossing heavy terrain. Really nice. This just makes it harder to be janky with the demo. There you go. So, for example, you could put a demo mine on the other side of like a totally solid wall, or like, you know, we play a lot of Octarius doors. You could just totally screw the door, you know. So this makes a lot of sense thematically as well as mechanically. And then they can only do it once a game. I was actually really surprised with this. So I didn't think they'd do that. In fairness, what I just said about the Spotter Veteran could totally apply again here. They're bringing it in line. Most other demo type operatives or grenadiers can only throw their big special grenade or their big bomb once per game. Same here. Now, the demo vet is just a regular... I mean, he's still really good. Like, it's still a really good bomb. But he's just a regular dude now. So that's... Yeah, I'm surprised they did that. That's all. That's all. Rayners says, just want to say, appreciate you moving away from Kill Team content for now, but you're one of the best Kill Team content dudes out there. Thank you very much, Rayners. Obviously, you know, this is not the only brand of Kill Team content. There are other brands available, but I enjoy Kill Team. As I say, I've just struggled with making content for it. Not with it as a game, but with content creation. And the content creation for it has tainted my view of regular play, and I'm trying to get back to enjoying the game for the game itself. The Spotter isn't just a gotcha for veterans, he's also a veteran himself. Brian did indeed see the fact that I said veteran. Good. In fairness, I said it without realising it, and then I looked at the word veteran on the screen. So, I noticed it but didn't say anything. So good, good. Minor note novitiates. They could do with a buff, couldn't they? Moving on, anyway. Just something I thought about. Okay. Cool. The only reason I say that is that novitiates are a tough team to pilot, but I feel like they're an important team to be good, you know? Anyway. Let's keep going. Got to go. We'll catch the rest of them. Yes, fair play, Major Tom. What are you talking about? This is the only Kill Team brand content. Hey, if you want your Kill Team... Oh, this doesn't have the shapes. Oh. This one does. There you go. Alright. See you later, Tom. Go for it, painting. Hello, sir. Void Dancer Troop. Wow. So again, why now? All of the the veterans, why now? Void Dancer Troop, why now? Anyway, moving on. Is it possible? I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to throw this out there as a concept. Is it possible that they have just now begun getting their, like, Kill Team 3 into, like, getting their ducks in a row, their Kill Team 3 ducks in a row, if you will, and they've just made all of these changes to these teams? And so they're like, okay, let's quickly go back and change these so that everybody knows what they are going into the 3rd edition? Possibly. Anyway, let me read it, because that's probably how you should do this. You should probably read the rule. All operatives remove fly keyword and they gain the following ability. Flip belts. this operative has the fly keyword for the purposes of moving around across and over other operatives. However, each time this operative is climbing or dropping, treat the total vertical distance as circle. Now, due to the way Kill Team tends to work when it comes to such things, what this really means, because anything that actually requires, height has the scalable keyword. So what this means is that you treat every operative, instead of having fly, as if it has climbing equipment. And that's it. That is now what they do. And that's actually a massive change. So, for example, they now have to play, they have to traverse. That's really big. That's actually like the main bigness of it. However, yeah, this is huge. This is huge for the Void Dancers. But good, because they were still like an absolutely top tier team. I will say, the last few times that I have played Kill Team, I've actually deliberately run the Void Dancer troop. I've got them here, just in a pile. This is how I store my models. Just a big pile of models, just right there. And the reason I was running them is because I wanted to get away from overthinking, and I just wanted to say, okay, I charge all my guys forwards. Okay, I roll 5 dice in melee. Sweet. Because, just get back to basics. Just get back to see what happens. Don't take it too seriously, right? And it was good. And the reason it was good is I didn't have to think at all about my movement. I just pointed a straight line and I moved, and that was great. However, I will say, and this is, quick to chat. Hello, Lord Inquisitor Vex. What's up? This is the new compendium. I think you might be right, Kill Team Ken, yes. And then, Ivan, worse than climbing equip, right? Have to be within, well. Sure, yes. And Mushi, do you think they're going to release 3rd edition compendium online with the Intercessor other release teams? What, do you just mean the Intercession team? Yeah, probably. Yeah, don't see why they wouldn't. That was my reasoning for my Bloodletter Kill Team. Salute. So, let me pitch you this idea. Again, I'm thinking about Season 3 coming out, or Edition 3, sorry. When it comes to... Oh, I need to swap hands. I'm getting cramp. When it comes to climbing, okay. I think that the movement system of Kill Team is a touch overly complex. There you go. I think that if they basically said anytime you are not making, or anytime you encounter any obstacle, whether it's traverse, climbing, jump tests, whatever, minus circle from your move. And that's all you ever have to worry about. Because that's basically what everything is. That's what traverse is. That's what climbing equipment gives you. Why not just make that it? Forget height. It took us so long to learn how climbing works, right? Like, as a community, it wasn't obvious. Why not just make any interaction with any terrain minus circle? Go. Maybe this is what they're leaning towards? I don't know. Oh no, I've swapped hands. I have to use my mouse with my left. Ugh, cringe. Anyway, yeah, this is obviously huge for Void Dancers. Right, Wormblade. So, this is just a fixing. They fixed a typo, basically. Oh, sorry, not a typo. It was typed correctly, but they're fixing a change that they recently made to how Call to Ambush works. The first time this operative performs either a fight or shoot action in each of its activations, if its order was changed from conceal to engage during that activation, or it wasn't visible to enemy operatives at the start of that activation. In the roll attack dice, step of that combat or shooting attack, you can reroll any or all of your attack dice results on one result. Cool. So if you are completely out of line of, visibility of every other enemy model or every enemy model on the board, you can still use your Call to Ambush reroll ability. Nice. I like it. Super good. That works. That clears it all up. Right. Before we go to the Warp Coven, the sneakiest of boys, let's go back to the chat. No tricks, no shenanigans, just charge forward and kill the enemy. It was good for learning how to activate such a move. I agree. Having everybody on your team have fly allows you to forget about weird movement for a time, and be able to just focus on the other parts of the game. Now, the fact that that was then paired with Domino Field, a little bit awkward, let's not talk about that. So, Warp Coven. I've got to be honest, I was a touch surprised that Warp Coven were touched at all, because I feel like they're a forgotten about team. You know, like, they haven't done brilliantly throughout the game's life cycle. They've had a buff or two, but like they've never had like a big, like, oh, this is a game-changing buff. So, yeah, interesting. Exalted Astartes strategic ploy. 0 CP. What the? Okay. And add the following. In addition, until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly Rubric Marine operative is activated, if it does not perform a fight action during that activation, it can perform 2 shoot actions during that activation. If it's a gunner operative, 1 additional action point, blah, 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 subtract to perform the second shoot action. Okay. So basically, they just made this 0 CP, right? Hello, Reverend DB. That's really good. But that's so weird. Why would they make that 0 CP? I mean, sorry, I don't think it's bad. Just, obviously they decided Warp Cover need a buff. Hey, let's make this ability that every other Marine team has to spend a CP to do. Let's make it 0. Why? Anyway, it's fine. Like, I'm not saying that's bad. It's just, how did the team come to this conclusion that that was the source? Rubric Marine operatives gain the following ability, Sorcerer's Command. Each time this operative is activated, if it isn't within... Oh no. Guys, we are really coming up to... pushing the kill team measurement system to its limit here, aren't we? Blimey. We had the 4... I complained about the 4 inch, and now we've got 9 inches. Okay, alright. If it isn't within red plus blue of a friendly sorcerer, operative subtract 1 from its APL characteristic. So, this is interesting in itself. I think this is a good change. So, I'm surprised they did this again, but cool. So, this actually began life as it was only if they are not within square. Then it was changed slightly, the wording, so that they are default 3 APL. So that matters for holding objectives instead of being +1 APL when they're within. And also went to 6 inches, and now they've moved it to 9 inches. That's odd. Might as well just remove it, but that's fine, whatever. When are you ever going to have a Rubric Marine more than... Oh, no, Into the Dark you would. Okay, never mind. Okay, interesting. Zangor operatives add 1 to wounds. Off the top of my head, I believe Zangors were 8 wounds. This pushes them to 9. That's nice. I guess. It's... 10 would have been nicer. 10 would have been nicer. 0 CP is cheating, though. No, it's not. Oh, that is just an army trait, then. Yes, it could be an ability. You're correct. Yes. 8 going to 9. Yeah, I thought so. That's, yeah. I don't know. That's not huge, but at the same time, I totally understand why they wouldn't give them +2 wounds. I mean, look. 9 wounds is better than 8. It's a buff. What can I say? Cool, I'm into it. Psychic powers change all instances of the end of the turning point to the start of the operative's next activation until it's incapacitated. And what we call that, chaps, chapesses and chapai, is another default rules change that they're going to bring in to Season 3. Heck yeah. Yes, this is much better. Like, this is really good. So, ever since we found out how a smoke grenade works, we have wished that we could hold off the fading of the light until a certain point in your activation. Hard to do with a smoke grenade, obviously, but cool that they're doing it where they can now. So that's good. Yes. Oh, that's really tough. And here is the one nerf that they've caught. Ephemeral instability psychic power subtract triangle instead of circle. I believe this is, off the top of my head, from moves and from dashes and charges. Or is it for the movement characteristic? I can't remember. There's multiple things that change here. Either way, interesting one. So obviously the Warp Coven are not like really strong. So is this buff needed? But then also, to get this off, you literally just activate your sorcerer, and every single enemy is affected with it, whether it's with invisibility or line of sight or anything. So super easy to get off. So from that perspective, I totally understand. Yes, it should be -1 inch instead of -2. But is that something this team needed? And then Arcane Robes equipment once per turning point instead of once per game. Nice. That's pretty good, actually, I will say. Arcane Robes, and the chat will correct me. Off the top of my head, I believe that was you could downgrade crit damage to a normal damage. I probably should have checked stuff before I recorded this video. I'm not recording. Oh, I'm free. Nice. And back to the chat before we get to the kin band. 8 goes 9, yeah. Opens up less than 3 Sork teams a bit more. Legit had not even considered that somebody might not run 3 sorcerers. That's my bad. That's on me. That's on me. And some mixed teams. 9 inches is going to have your eye out. Let's hope you get it in the eye. Jesus. Lose the cervix. Dashes and charges, yes. Not sure if it's because OP or just because it's stalling. I agree. That just like board-wide nerf to your team is a bit meh. Not cool. Also correct on the robes. Oh, it's like an encyclopedia of knowledge. It's like a compendium of knowledge. Okay, for Farstalker Kimband, I would argue one of the teams... So amusingly, on one of my... I've got a Google Doc where I have ideas that I'm going to write for videos. One of them is my top 5 worst takes for kill team, and on that is when we had the buff to Kroot Farstalkers. Yeah, the first time we had the buff, they got an extra model, they got a whole load of stuff, and I said, like, this is too much. This is going to be a completely OP team. I don't know how we're going to beat them. And that's definitely in my top 5 of worst takes in kill team ever. So, yeah. With that amusing anecdote out of the way, Farstalker Kimband, probably one of the few teams that really need some help. They haven't... So, Farstalkers are one of the teams that haven't won anything of note. Most other teams have done decently and like podiumed in a big event. Kroot have not. Yeah, so a little bit awkward, not gonna lie, a little bit awkward. Back to the chat quickly. Also correct on the robe, you are correct. See that big old brain just throbbing away there. It is very sexual, I agree. How's it looking so far, chat? Well, I'm on camera, so it's looking amazing, what can I say? Interesting, a couple of loser teams getting some love needed. It's a whole page of... yes, the Kroot have needed a few buffs. That is correct, Lord Inquisitive X. Okay, so, obviously that's all old stuff. We've already had those buffs. Let's get to the new stuff. Kill Broker, that is your leader. I've lost it. Ritual Blade equipment, add 1 to attacks characteristics. Cool, yeah, good, nice. Stalker, add 1 to attack characteristics. Good. So, okay, let's keep reading, I'll get back to it. Hound Operative, change GA characteristic to 1. Tracker Operatives, marked for the hunt and from the eye above actions. This operative cannot perform those actions while within engagement range of an enemy operative. Instead of 6. Oh, okay, alright. Okay, so... Kroot are in such a weird space. They've had so many buffs. The original design intent was low attack numbers, bad ballistic skill. Minor buff when you lose one of your guys. And that's it. Like, that's it. I was like, didn't work. So, they've made some buffs. Let's talk about the hounds first. So, the Crute hounds being changed from GA2 to GA1. Some people might consider that a nerf. I would consider that a buff. The reason that is a buff is it gives you an extra potential to pass the extra activation. That's a positive for you. But also, GA2 operatives are sometimes, I'm thinking about loot mainly, incredibly strong. However, hounds don't really work with each other to be strong. They work with another operative to be strong. And you don't really need GA2 for that. You're not using the hounds to run up and grab objectives. You're using your warriors to do that. The hounds just want to be close to the warriors. So taking that loss of a GA to gain an activation, pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. So the Kill Broker and the Sword getting +1 to attacks characteristics. Needed. Off the top of my head, I know that they have deployed that gives all of their models +1 attack. And it used to be to a maximum of 4. Did they just straight up remove that to a maximum of 4? Or is it now uncapped? Because if it's still to a maximum of 4, then it's a nerf to these two models. Because in reality, if you got to a point where you wanted to use these in melee, you were already using that ability. So, no change. Don't know. I guess. I think them being melee attack 3 is just really bad. I think the whole team needs to be 4 attacks. Still with the ability to put them up to 5 attacks with your CP. But aren't they like hitting on 4s? It's ridiculous. Wait, are they? Chat. Tell me they're hitting on 3s in melee. I know it's 4s in ranged, but it has to be 3s in melee. Otherwise I'm going to go crazy. It's mad. Tracker, obviously just a straight buff. The fact that you couldn't do it within 6 of an enemy is mad. So good that it's within engaged now. Honestly though, I would have, just again, I don't play... Actually, the most recent kill team thing I built was Fast Orca Kimbad. When they showed the 40k Crute box, I got really excited and bought and built another full Fast Orca Kimbad because I just got hyped on Crute. But I didn't actually ever put them on the table because I had to paint them, and I don't do that. It's not my vibe, you know. So yeah. But I didn't. I seem to recall wanting the tracker should be able to just do those things and then still have all of his AP. Those abilities should be free. There you go. Moving on. Okay. We then go Navy Breachers, Intercession, no changes. That's probably fair. They seem to both be in good places, don't they? Hyrotech. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me quickly check the chat. What have I missed? What do we change? Everything. Yes. Whole new design. Well, no, they still do the same thing, just not... They didn't do it very well, and now they still don't do it particularly well. So, don't lie, developing that encyclopedic knowledge is the real reason you've spent a large amount of time and energy on Kill Team content in the last few years. Still just playing the long game. Oh yeah, I can't wait for everything I know to be irrelevant in another... What are we on? 6 months. Yeah, good. Woot. Youngsters out there, do you even know what woot means? Dating myself heavily there. Crute buffs. Now is the time for everyone to call them definitely S tier. I agree. Crute, S tier. OP. They're broken. They're not. It's fine. Not sure it's a huge buff. I agree. Having read that, that's not a huge buff. That is a light touch. Yes, so Revan enjoys where the Hyrotech are going with this. Let's start with the... So basically, Hyrotech Circle nerfed the only Cryptech anybody used, buffed the others, and gave your Apprentech 3 APL. Really nice. But... Okay, the Crute were hitting on 3s. Okay, that's fine. I'll allow 3s. I'll stop complaining. Reanimation Protocol's ability. Resolve before living metal ability. Operatives are successfully reanimated on a 2+. Nice. Cool. I like it. Now, let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about that. I have said in the past about the jump rule, because of course we suddenly had to deal with it because of Beta Decima. I have said that if something happens on a 2+, it is intended that it always happens. And the only reason it doesn't happen is if the odds are very, very bad for you. Therefore, the game is designed around you being able to do it. They have just made jump tests auto pass. Reanimation Protocols is a 2+. That is slightly different when you're talking about dice pools. I'm not talking about attacking, defending, because you can start to get, like, Custodes. They have 5 attacks hitting on 2s. You should miss one, right? That's fine. The game, their power is designed around that. If you roll 1 dice and a thing happens or doesn't happen, and it happens on a 2+, the game is designed around that thing happening. Jump tests, they made auto pass. Reanimation Protocols, they have just made 2+. Reanimation Protocols is meant to happen. Just let them happen. That's my hot take. It's my hot take. And then I'm going to move on because I have nothing else to say about that. Because I said, I literally spoke for ages because I had quite a lot to say. Chronomancer lowers the distance of the nanomine. The counter-temporal nanomine. Alright. It lowers the distance of the counter-temporal nanomine from a 6-inch diameter to a 3-inch diameter. Is that correct? Oh, hold on. Let me read the whole thing. Maybe there's something in the actual rules that need to be read. If enemy operatives would move within 3 inches of your counter-temporal nanomine token instead of 6 inches and subtract circle. Oh, if the enemy does it and subtract circle for the distance it can move to. Note, dash actions would therefore be unaffected. What? Why? Let me read it again. Let me slow it down. If the enemy operative would move within 3 inches of your counter-temporal nanomine token and subtract circle from the distance it can move. What? Okay. Cool. Note, dash actions would therefore be unaffected. Anyway, the size of the counter-temporal nanomine has been shrunk. That's probably a good thing. I'm into it. Because everybody used it. And it wasn't a particularly fun ability. Again, similar thing to how they just nerfed the incredibly underperforming team, the Warp Coven, with their shenanigans. They've also done this, but this was devastating. The counter-temporal nanomine was used in basically every game where a Chronomancer was brought. However, with that said, let's read the other two before I talk about the different Mancers. Okay, Technomancer. Operative's rights of animation action. Delete first paragraph. Second paragraph becomes an ability. In other words, it no longer requires the operative to perform an action, but subtract 1 for the Technomancer operative's APL if you use that ability. So basically, oh, I see. So it's always on. Okay. So he's a medic, right? I haven't read the Technomancer in a very long time, but I'm assuming he's a medic. And in a reactive way. Cool. I assume. I don't know. Sounds about right. Psychomancer. Operatives conjure trauma action. In addition, roll 1d6. If the result is higher than that enemy operative's APL, subtract 1 for enemy operative's APL. Nice. Apprentech, APL 3. Okay. These are 3 nice changes. I think the counter-temporal nanomine being reduced, very good, needed. I think the Technomancer is still probably don't take. To be honest with you, I think he needed a bit more juice. Psychomancer, I don't even know what Conjure Trauma does, because I've never played the Psychomancer. Let me tell you what I'm going to do when I next play Hyrotech Circle, because they're one of those factions that I actually do know how to play. Ish. I'm still going to run the Chronomancer. Do you know why? Here's my shame. Here's my great shame, chat. I have only ever used the counter-temporal nanomine once. And you know what? I still win a bunch with Hyrotech Circle. The Chronomancer's really, really good. He's still really, really good. I'm still going to take him instead of the other two. There you go. Because basically, I've just been buffed. Now all of my guys come back on 2s, and my Apprentice is APL 3. This is just a straight up buff. I didn't use the counter-temporal nanomine anyway. Probably because I'm a bad player, but I don't care. Whatever, dude. Okay. Weird they felt reanimation could go to 2+, but not guaranteed. I agree. Weird. Don't get it. Hyrotech 1 GT. Yes, I did call that out at the beginning. That was Shane. Ryan? Oh, no. I forgot who they are. From Command Point. I got it right at the beginning of the stream. I promise. Yes. 2+ is a bit oppressive. Is it oppressive? No. I get what you're saying, but I just think the game's designed around it should be. It just should happen. Now, does that mean that reanimation protocol in general is a bit oppressive? Potentially. But on a 2+? Yeah, but Shane is also a fantastic player. Good players have won with all kinds of teams. Yep, agreed. He's a good player, knows what he's doing. Good to see him finally move away from Legionary. Means every other game you might feel one reanimation unless the dice hate you, potentially. But the dice do hate me. And then you've got to ask yourself, okay, so does that mean you need to balance the Hyrotech Circle team around rolling all 1s? But then you know what, in fairness, you can say that about attacks. You have to attack at some point in the game. If you roll all 1s, you can't really design around that. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. None of mine had a toxic. Agreed. Yep, 6-inch radius. Radius, isn't it? Double hello, homies. Hello. The double hello was given out at the beginning of the stream, of course. You can go back and check that. If you stay for the whole of the stream, there might be a triple hello. It can't be confirmed or denied at this point in time. I can't see the future. I like the attempts to rebalance, but Chronomancer is still an always take. Chronomancer. Yes, agreed, 100%. Last I played, reanimation worked out 50-50, 3-ups, and there was some feel bads. It worked on a 3-up before, so it was more than 50-50. Yep. Double O, don't forget to hit the like. You can. I don't really know what it does, but yeah. Hit the like button and tell me what it's done. Oh my god, are we out of time? Sorry. Not time. Not time. We're out of... There you go. Get that music back on, boys. Nice. And girls. And others. Thank you. I wish we could get a core rulebook with all your art. That's called a new edition. That's coming soon. We don't need a new core rulebook. But he becomes APL 1 when he does it? No, so I assume you're talking about that. So he is APL 3. So he would become APL 2. Yeah, I think it deletes the stipulations to activate his resurrection, so you just do it whenever. Contra trauma makes the model injured, even if it can't be injured. Oh, okay. Oh, so does it just like with invisibility make one model injured, and then on a higher than the enemy operative's APL subtract 1 for that enemy operative's APL? That's pretty tasty, actually. I like that. Off the top of my head, his staff is 6 dice, 2/2 damage, mortal wounds 1 or 2, blast 3. But then if I'm taking that weapon into a team that wants that sort of damage profile, I probably don't care about making a single model injured and -1 APL. Interesting. Kind of doesn't work there, I feel. The other Robo Wizards just kind of suck because they can't influence the board in such a crazy way. Chronometron is crazy. Yes, Chronometron is amazing. Yeah, exactly. I always played Chronometron because it was way more fun, if I'm honest. I hit the like button and automatically sign me up for the Patreon. That is a disaster. Everybody, don't. No, wait. Do it ironically. There you go. Hit the like button and give me money on Patreon ironically. It could be satire. That's fine. Getting a nice hardcover would be nice. We all like it hard. Okay. Moving on. Keep it together, guys. Come on. Kassakin, no changes. Kassakin You know, okay, that's not for the... God, this video is dragging, isn't it? All right, let's keep going. This is the beauty of live. I don't give a shit. Nice. I don't care. Exaction squad, no changes. Hearthkin salvages. Dozer, locator. Cool. So the Dozer, you know, buffs for the Hearthkin. Good to see. I kind of wonder why they've done this. Like these particular changes. These almost feel like quality of life changes instead of like generic buffs to like the team. Let's read them. Dozer operatives. Nux smash action. Add the following sentence. This operative can then perform a free charge action up to 3 inches, even if it's performed an action during this activation that prevents it from doing so. This is quite nice. I like this. You start to again run into limits of the kill team activation system with the fact that they have to say perform a free blah blah blah. Again, free is poor wording, which I assume that they're going to fix in the next edition. I feel like this could be really cool if it was perform a free charge and fight action, maybe. I don't know. As it is, you just get to charge somebody else, which is good because so what you would have done. Let me think. Let me run down. You'll have run in, smashed somebody off a point, and now it's saying you can charge again so that you're within range of them, so you're not getting sniped. Because certainly every time I've played into Hearthkin salvages, on the off chance my opponent was playing fluffy and fun, and therefore, well, was playing Hearthkin salvages at all, but took Dozer and then Nux Smash, because Nux Smash is the coolest move, I would just kill the Dozer, because he'd be stood in the open, because that's literally what Nux Smash does. So yes, in hindsight, this just gives you a follow-up charge. Nice change. Again, quality of life change. This is, in my opinion, how the Nux Smash action should have originally worked. Nice. I approve. Locator operatives early detection ability. In addition, enemy operatives cannot move until the firefight phase of the first endpoint. Now, I looked into this. This is a weird one. It is changing the... So, it basically already says this for the ability. They've just changed the phrasing, the wording. So, I think it was enemy operatives cannot move until the first turn or something like that. It was very slightly different. Now it's until the firefight phase of the first turn point. So if you weren't being super finicky with rules, it already worked this way. Cool. But then we do get this locator operatives pan spectral scan action. In addition, that enemy operative is not obscured for that shooting action. Off the top of my head, what did this do? So now it's making you not obscured. It's when you're within 6 inches of a token that you put down anywhere on the board. Something. There you go. But now you are also not obscured. There you go. Maybe you get a reroll? I don't know. I don't have a way I can actually check these rules. Oh, if only I had my Kill Team app open. Oh, it doesn't exist. Guys, we can't blame GW. They're a small, independent, company. They're not on the FTSE 500 at all. They're not one of the most... Well, let's move on. Okay. Sure, Chronometron is fun. Russ loved it when I alpha striked him with that fun and interactive ability. Agreed. Yep. Quality of life, allow you to use ability and not die. Quality, yeah, that's quality of life. Yeah, I agree. Quality of life would be making Grey Knight heavy weapons actually useful to take. They didn't get it, and therefore they are not alive. Quality of life. Can you charge the thing you smashed? Yes, I got around. Obviously, it took me a while to figure that out. Yeah, yes, you can. You can absolutely charge the thing you smashed, which is pretty gnarly if you stun them, since they can't fall back. Did we go with Void Dancers already? If we go to the first 2 minutes of this stream, I'm explaining to the stream, guys, I can't immediately start talking about what's happened in the balanced data slate, because I'm going to say something like Void Dancers have been nerfed, isn't that crazy? And then immediately after, someone is going to come into chat and say, hey, what's happened with the Void Dancers? And so I would have to repeat myself. Jay, thank you. I like it. Yes, we've been over the Void Dancers already. We are nearing the end, actually. You know, we've been cracking on for an hour and 5. So, yeah. Long story short, big change. Probably needed. Yeah. But, in a sense, kind of... probably not what I would have done, but we're at the end of the edition. Screw it, it'll do. I imagine that's what they were thinking. You said you couldn't see the future. I know. It's almost like I've been doing this game for 5 years, and I know how it be. Okay, Felgor Ravagers. So, a very strong team, even after their original 2 rounds of nerfs, I think they've had? Or is it 1 round of nerfs? And the rest of the chat is now just going to be, hey, did you go over this yet? I like it. It's amusing. Thank you. So, Felgor Ravagers, strong team. Let's talk about it. Ironhorn opted... that's the leader, by the way. Call the attack ability. The selected operative must be visible to and within 6 inches. Oh, okay, that's a huge change. I believe before it was just visibility. Now it's within 6 of this operative. That's actually quite a large change. Certainly the one time I've played Felgor Ravagers on stream, and you can see me doing it, or on video, I use this over 6 inches. Therefore, this ability is, personally targeted at me. So, ouch. I assume this is a big deal. Or a minorly big deal. You know, it's not like your whole game plan is based around Ironhorn, the call the attack ability, but it's a thing. Gnarl Scar Operative's uncompromising attack action. You can only select an auto pistol for this action, shooting attack. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, people were taking a grenade and using an ability that's not meant to be used with a grenade, weren't you? I think you may have been. Yeah, there you go. Warpaint 2 EP. That's a big change. If you were running these guys without too much thought, which is 100% something you can do with the Felgor, you were giving 10 guys Warpaint because it's really good. Now you can't do that. You have to give 5 guys Warpaint. There you go. Yeah, alright. I mean, yes, needed, probably. Death Knell Operative's War Gong ability. No effect when the Death Knell Operative has a Frenzy token. Cool, so that just means you can't be Frenzied and then War Gong. Makes sense. Nice. Oh, we need some water from the glass half dead canteen. Nice. Okay. How do we feel about that? These aren't huge changes. These seem pretty fine, pretty in line. Yeah, this isn't much of a change. I hadn't actually read these yet when I started this stream. I got too excited. So going over them now, somebody said at the beginning of the stream they were just tickled back into line. And I agree. Yeah, this isn't a huge deal for Felgor. They are still pretty strong. The biggest issue there is the Warpaint. Cool. And before we go to the Chaos Cults, which I believe is the final thing, yes, we will quickly check chat. Hello, chat. You didn't see the future? It's okay, Glass. I will vouch for you when the black ships come for you. Thank you. Felgors are the Beastmen team. Yeah, yes they are. Felgors are Beastmen. Felgor versus Kroot would be a pretty cool combo. There's probably a battle report online where that's occurred. But, okay, I'm going to throw this out there. If you're doing Felgor versus Kroot, just play fantasy. You don't need to do this yourself. Play fantasy. I don't know, you do you. Warpaint sucks. The other ones see more typo, bad behavior corrections. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Fair to say. Not huge nerfs. Maybe even the nerfs around them will push them up in the meta, lol. I mean, You know what? I will say, they didn't have much of an answer for the bomb squig, and they still don't, but the bomb squig's radius is smaller. Is it? No, that was the demo vet. I can't remember what they did with the bomb squig. Anyway, over to the Chaos Cults. Winged accursed gift. Delete the first bullet point. I don't know what that means. Cool. Operative selection, one less devotee operative. So instead of having 15 models in your starting team, you have 14 models in your starting team. Delightful. One less devotee. They're GA2. Does that... no, it's fine. You're still the same number of activations. Not a huge nerf. If we're being honest, that's probably fine. You've had bigger nerfs in the past. There you go. Cool. I don't have much to say about that. Thank you. First of all, ignore movement penalties. Okay, so now you just get fly. You don't get to ignore movement. Oh. Alright, that's fine. Isn't it? I mean, I'm not a Chaos Cults player. Maybe Chaos Cults are seething right now that they don't get to ignore movement penalties, maybe. But you know what? No more counter-temporal nanomine, so you're fine. You're fine. You're safe. Miss the lie so I can say. Okay. Take care. Okay. Yes, I realise that I am running into other people's traditional stream times at the moment. We're done, everybody. We're done. Hey, did you go and watch the Warhammer Plus Battle Report? If you're a patron of mine, ironically, or not, or satirically maybe, we can kill Team Ken. Yes, I just begun that. Yes. I've actually just recorded my entire watch through of that, and I'm going to upload it for the patrons. You can watch me watch it. It's a 40-minute battle report. My watch through, because I hate React content, is an hour and a half. I doubled the length of it. I didn't add much to it, but I did transform it, so it's transformative. That's fine. Yes. I don't know. We should probably say a final thing about the data slates. Feels like oddly timed changes. There you go. Done. Don't have much more to say about it. But at the same time, you know what? It feels like Kill Team is in a really solid place. Like, we have lots of different teams winning, like podiuming in large tournaments. So, cool. Good. I suppose if we stick to the timeline that we do in Kill Team, we will have one more balanced data slate before the new edition. Is there a point? I don't think we need it, really. But cool, good to get it, I suppose. You know, I'm not going to turn down more content. But really, this feels end of life. We're in a hospice. We've got, you know, we're waiting for the new stuff, right? Oh my God, sorry. Nightmare. The new stuff, right. Sorry, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit... It's like they've shown us the Mandrakes and the Night Lords, and they just showed us the Pioneers and the Brood Brothers. So I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, cool, let's see the next edition. My bad. I guess there is still 6 months of this edition to go. So, yeah. All right. Did we have much to say? Sorry, scratch that. Turns out I already missed it. Okay. Which channel were you going to go and watch, Vex? I realise I'm cutting into other channels regularly scheduled streaming. It wasn't really my intent. I just decided I'm getting really, really sick of writing scripts for content. So screw it, I'll just go live. And that way I get to chat with chat, because that's fun. I enjoy that. There you go. I like a community. I like having friends. And at least this way I can pretend the people in chat are real people instead of a series of AI bots. There you go. Yes. Cool. Okay, Kill Team Plus. Sorry, the Warhammer Plus. I'm going to do an actual video on that, where I just very dryly, like all the women in my life, very dryly discuss all of the rules. Oh, that sounds really dull. That sounds really boring. You see, guys, this is why I'm struggling with the kill team content. I don't really care about just dryly reading rules anymore. I used to love that. Oh my god, yes. But I'm like, all right. So I will say, you know, Warhammer Plus does very good battle reports. I think they're very well done. Takeaways. It was Mandrakes versus Night Lords, and it was on Beta Decima. It was using a narrative rule where the ocean can be like attack you at the end of each turn on a dice roll, and I came away from it, and I've just said this on the pre-recorded thing to my patrons. I've just said this. I have no idea how both of those teams are going to play, because everything in there is so different. So Beta Decima sucks. I don't care about that. Like that, if you're playing a team on Beta Decima, that tells me almost nothing about how the team plays in a real game, aka in a normal bloody kill zone, right? Fine. There was a narrative twist which legitimately changed the outcome of the game. Fine, cool, whatever. And then both of the teams have so their core ability on one side is called In Midnight Clad. The core ability on the other side is called Shadow Passage. Sorry, no, it's called In Shadows. But then they do an ability called Shadowy Passage, which is hilarious, obviously. And basically, if you are in shadow, which means if you are within 1 inch of heavy terrain, then you get a whole, as the Mandrakes, then you get a whole load of buffs. Like you go from a 5-up invuln to a 4-up invuln. More importantly, you could do a Shadowy Passage ability. So it counts as a normal move, and you can move anywhere in shadow to anywhere else in shadow. So that means on our current boards, which are very heavy terrain, you can move almost anywhere on the board. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So there you go. But you can't be within line of sight of the enemy. Note line of sight, not visibility, so you're still going to be able to do that just fine. And then in Midnight Clad, if you're on a conceal order and you're within 1 inch of heavy or light, or underneath a vantage point, you are obscured. So that's like super conceal, but you could be in front of the terrain and still get the super conceal. But you're obscured instead of in cover, right? So you only have to care about things like, you know, things that can remove obscurity. So suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, like that is such a huge change. Nothing else really does that, allowing you to be in front of terrain and not being able to be shot. Obviously they could shoot you within 6. So yeah, it's yeah, both teams were doing quite large things, like certainly in shadows from the Mandrakes there. Yeah, challenging. So I came away from it having no idea how either team really plays. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. That was my main takeaway. I didn't know. Right, back to the chat. Trigonometry, but it went live at 7 and I was an hour behind. I'm a real person. I'm a real boy. I'm definitely not an AR bot, just a dusty automaton. AKA the back passage, AKA the dirt track. How many officers do they get? Yeah, so the Night Lords are 6. Obviously, it's an elite team. It's basically Legionary, isn't it? And the Mandrakes are 9? Yes. Yeah, that's right. With 5 specialists, 4 normals. Which... So you can kind of tell what's going on with the Night Lords from the pictures. But this time, we actually had all of the specialists for the Mandrakes shown and named. So like on the Night Lord side, you've got the Skin Thief. And you've got the That's the only guy. Oh, the Screecher. Yeah. Oh, but the leader is called... Oh, damn, he's the one who actually had a name I liked. Skin Thief is cool. The leader is called a Visionary. That's pretty cool. I like that. You're like, yeah. And he has prescience. So every turn you roll a d3 dice, and then with your prescience tokens, you can do something. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Mandrakes didn't really have that for their leader. Can't remember what their leader was called. Probably like a Night Walker or something. I don't know. Yeah. There you go. I don't know. I wasn't blown away by the two teams purely because I don't like beta testing. There you go. That's actually the reason, because it meant that I just didn't get a feel for what the teams really did. Yeah. Our Night Lord's distinctly different from Legionary team. Yeah. Yes, they are very different. However, they are still just a bunch of dudes that are going to charge in and kill you in melee. If, when you play Legionary, you don't really care about, you know, like, they're both melee teams. There you go. They're both elite model melee teams. Yes. They probably do what they need to do very differently, but you're still going to charge stuff and hit things in the face. If you were going to charge stuff and hit things in the face with Legionary, you'd probably have a very similar game doing that with Night Lords. From the looks of it, and again, pure guesswork, I would say that the Night Lords are probably a simpler team to just run in and hit stuff in the face, because one of their abilities, one of their ploys, can't remember what it's called, is when you charge, do D3 mortals. Great. Goddamn, right? Jesus. Why is that good? So obviously you have some weapons that do 6 damage on the crit, right? So yes, your immediate thought is, oh great, I can one-shot some 7 wound teams. Yes. However, the actual benefit beyond that, because that's very niche, it's only like one of the models. The Skin Thief did 6 on the crit. Maybe one other, not sure. Do have that effect where you could deal 1 mortal and then crit for a 6, so you kill on the charge. But I think that the real benefit there is that it's going to take a lot of teams from being you needing 3 hits to you needing 2 hits, and that is pretty big. Yes, we all love the one-shot kill, but actually there aren't that many teams that are 7 wounds, so realistically going from 3 hits to 2 hits, really good, really big. And that's where you're going to see the most use out of your mortal wounds. Been a while since I played, but Chaos get 2 3-man fire teams. Vex, my boy, you are talking compendium. You are correct, they do. You can either go 2 3-mans, or you can do a 3-man and then a 7 model? 8 model cultist. Yeah, I believe it was kind of decided that, yeah, taking a cultist fire team is what they were called, yeah, was a viable option. Yeah, because you could do a forward deploy with them, I recall. So they do the same thing, but they do, yes, exactly, they do the same thing in different ways. So you are saying it is like Legionary Slanesh that actually works? Yes. Yes. I think that's a fair way to point them, to say it. Instead of getting +1 inch to your move, you get to be obscured for the whole game. Pretty cool. Why do you think GW did not give us a Tyranid team? Compendium is okay, but why no real team? They just refreshed the range. I don't see a reason to not just White Dwarf it. Yes, by the way, chat, it's been an hour and a half. We're going to round things up. So if you want to ask questions, now is the time, before I chip off and eat some cheese or something, I don't know. Gosh, why? If I can be cynical for a mo, I think no. Okay, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I was about to be cynical and say that GW didn't think it through, but they clearly did. Kill Team has had, you know what, look, I think that Age of Sigmar has some of the best models out there. I think they do amazing poses, some, not always winners for aesthetics, but like, there's some really cool stuff in Age of Sigmar. And then when I go and I walk around the Warhammer World cabinets and I see all the Age of Sigmar armies, there's something in every Age of Sigmar army that makes me think, that's cool, I want that. And then I go to the other side where it's the 40k side, and it's like, I guess, right? That's my general vibe, and therefore, based on that, I think Age of Sigmar has the better model range than 40k. But not in Kill Team. Oh, well, sorry. Kill Team compared to Warcry, Warcry is amazing. Like, they've just let the artists go nuts with those models, right? Like, genuinely, it's a crime that more people don't play the Age of Sigmar the more people don't hobby the Age of Sigmar just for models. It's a shame. It should be more popular just for the hobby. But the Kill Team is getting some of the best 40k sculpts at the moment. Obviously not Primarchs, not bigger models, but just regular dudes. I genuinely think Kill Team has had amazing sculpts. We've had amazing like dives into different weird squads and aspects of the lore that we haven't had in, you know, decades. So I don't want to say that GW has not done Kill Team proud when it comes to the model range. However, clearly at some point they had to make a choice between a new Tyranid Kill Team and Striking Scorpions. And they said, hey, Striking Scorpions are the stealthy aspect warrior Eldar. Let's put them in because, you know, they're also like conscious beings, and so they have a reason, you know, justifiably lore-wise, I guess, to be going on Kill Team-sized squad attack battles. Tyranids, well, yeah, we've got a whole new range, but screw it. That's a 40k thing. I don't know. Like, at some point they had to make a decision. They did a coin toss, and they said, okay, Kill Team doesn't get Tyranids. Kill Team doesn't get Grey Knights. Kill Team doesn't get a Kill Team, aka Deathwatch. Hashtag sad. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Yeah, Brew Brothers. I thought they were doing a Lictor and Bro team. Nope. Do you think the Patriarch will amount to anything, or will it be OP for month and then? Good question. Gosh, I think, you know, we can only assume that when Elliot said in the interview that it's the most powerful model that's ever come out, Elliot knows what he's talking about. He wouldn't just say that, so it's going to be a crazy model. The question is, how many slots is it going to cost you to take that? Let's imagine the Magus and the Primus are 2 slots. What's he going to be? 3 slots? 4 slots? Is one big model worth? How many noob dudes is one big model worth? That is going to define that model. Is it? Yeah, probably. But then that's point costs. Yeah. Point costs. Do you think... I was really hoping for a White Dwarf team featuring Von Ryan's Liebers in some way. Yeah, they just dropped those. Yeah. In fairness, I will say there were too many teams. You know. Or, sorry, there were. Back when I cared. And I tried to understand every team. There were too many teams. Now, I don't care. There could be another dozen. Fine. I'm just not going to pay attention to them. But yeah, when you're balls deep, there are kind of too many teams, if I'm being honest with you. I would much rather they half the team size, but give list building. They could do a 6 Gene Seeder team. Yeah, easy. There are so many options for good teams that are like almost no effort. Specifically, I'm thinking, of course, of Deathwatch, Grey Knights, Demons. So easy. Like, they're there in the compendium. Yeah, 3 Von Ryan, Liebers, Lictor. Yep. Do Steelers like Do Steelers like Inquisition where they can team with No, they're not. Vex, what you're doing there is mistaking this edition of Kill Team for something that it's not. There is no team building, there is no cross list building, it's just you get what you're given. Yeah, you're a 40k player trying to apply 40k logic to a different game system, which I understand, but it can't happen. Oh, can't even pronounce your name there, but I'm going to say Dairy Woods. As a Warp Coven player from day one, I'm excited by this. Yeah, good changes for Warp Coven. A nerf, which I reckon was a nerf not because it was needed, but a nerf because just an outright nerf to the enemy team with no, like, negative or risk to you to do that nerf. Pretty not good. Pretty NPE. Negative play experience. So much potential for Nick kill teams. Rip Deathwatch. I'm hoping for a Primaris with combi weapon kill team. So quick conspiracy rumor theory time. So for those of you that have been paying attention to Age of Sigmar 4.0 coming out, there was a leak. Now the leak was only the front cover of the books, right? Which is cool because it means that we know that the leaks are coming direct from the printers, which is nice to know. Hopefully GW can quash that. I genuinely don't like leaks, that's me. However, alongside that picture of the Age of Sigmar 4 rulebooks was another picture. It was what people are speculating was the Imperial Agents Codex. Now, what is the Imperial Agents Codex going to be? What's that going to be, chaps? It's going to be, again, pure speculation, right? Grey Knights and Deathwatch rolled into Inquisition. Deathwatch, Grey Knights as individual armies going away, becoming one big thing. Now, thematically, I love that. These are two elite things. They're kind of elite in the same way, but do very different things, right? Like different arms of the Inquisition. I would love having normal dudes that take a single squad of elite Space Marines. Thematically, I'm in. I love it. But if that's happening, that is literally the perfect time to bring along new models for Primaris, Grey Knights, and Deathwatch. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, oh, but Andy, you can't actually Primarisify the Grey Knights because actually that's the Emperor's Gene Seed. And I say, suck my dick. I don't give a shit. Thank you. The Warhammer lore is dumb as fuck. You can make it up. It's already dumb. Just make it more dumb. There you go. That's how the lore works. I'm into it. Also, new models. Bigger the better. Came in late, sorry. No problem, Academic Chris. Andre. Most people guess Patriarch is 4 slots, Primus 2, Magus 2, and Brew Brothers 1. That would be my assumption. Yes, exactly. How many slots for the whole team? Is it 14? And so actually, when you buy the box... Oh, also, is there a limit on which characters you can take? So, can you only take one of them and you still have to pay the slots? Or can you take all of them and pay as many slots as you want? That'll be really interesting. I hope that they allow you to take as many as you want. And if I want to run that 6 model Brood Brother team, I can. I'm going to lose, but that's fine. That would be cool. Academic Chris, supporting the channel for $1.99. Thank you very much. Big up yourself. I'm going to assume that you sent that to me ironically. So thank you. Good satire. Well done. Wish listing, aren't we all? Here just to say, finally those Voidars of Troop got what they deserve. Yes. I can't argue. Yeah. They needed this a long time ago. It's true. We've got to pay for the buff somehow. How about a 1-tank kill team? Well, again, very easy based on my own template. GW could do that, yes. Ooh, full Inquisition army sounds amazing. Agreed. Lol. I will say, why isn't GW doing 58 or 52 mil Inquisitor again? I love that larger size. That sounded... Just take that out of context, I don't care. so much, such a better scale, honestly. I've really felt that since Shatterpoint. Since seeing those models, just great. I think it's so much cooler. Yeah, there you go. New models are the best reason to do anything. Anyone, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Hashtag so brave. People that complain about new models, I just don't get. Like, that's the best part of the hobby, isn't it? Like, new models they're cool. They're better. Anyway, all right, moving on. So I love new models. There you go. That's what I'm saying. I will never say, oh my God, a new model. Ugh. Here's the secret. All of the lore was originally made up of something. How dare you? That is an outrageous statement. New Inquisitor in Terminator gear. Yep. Hell yeah. Let's do it. They can lead the Grey Knights. I'm down. What's the difference between Emperor Gene Seed and Primarch Gene Seed? Why couldn't you just apply the same Primaris process? It's just adding like 2 to 3 new organs, right? You know what? Yes. Because it's made up. You can do literally whatever you want. Okay, so here's the thing. There's a part deeply ingrained within me that wants to be like, well, you see, the difference is, and explain it. But I don't want to be that guy. Because I don't like that side of the community. I don't like people that take the lore too seriously. Because I think the lore's dumb. Dumb in a good way. But like, it's not good, in my opinion. So let's not take it too seriously, I think that 40k is at its best when it's a setting. Don't get stuck in the nitty-gritty. That's not where Warhammer's good. Warhammer is cool and awesome and good as a gigantic setting where you can just go and in your own little sandpit of the universe and make your own thing up. Go do that. You can do anything. The Warp. Awesome. Yeah, there you go. Give it like 4 crew, whatever. Yeah. Have you ever noticed it's only Marines people complain about new models? Xenos players get 20. In fairness, that's because, they get 1 million new models a year. So I kind of get it. I kind of get maybe a bit too much churn for the Marines there. Still works within its own logic, right? Yes. Yes. There is nothing inherently deep in the lore that says Emperor Gene Seed can never be modified. Gene Seed isn't real. It's not a thing. Boo. What? There are people who don't like new models? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, people complain. I don't understand. Everyone mans a station on the tank. Brian, not true. Admech complains. And everyone, that stilt-legged sniper. What a dude. Legit, like one of the worst models I've ever seen. Yeah. Warhammer, GW doesn't often miss. I think in general, all of their sculpts are pretty good. That was bad. The top quarter of the model, very cool. Those legs though, give them something else. Like just, I don't know, man. Anyway, all right. Springs, I don't know. Tall times hilarious, tall is the greatest thing ever, and I hear no argument. Yes, perhaps. Anyway, everybody, thank you for hanging around. This has been Andy. This has been Glass. This has been whoever I don't know who I am. A big thanks to the AI bots out there for joining in. I'm going to call it a day because I want to go and eat some cheese, if I'm honest, and have some Pepsi Max, caffeine free. Here it is. So thank you for watching. Everybody, this has been fun. Just so you know, if you're still here, going forwards, I intend to stream more often in this sort of format. It won't be Wednesdays. Wednesdays aren't a good day for me in general, and I don't want to step on other streamers' toes within the Kill Team sphere. This was a special one-off because news dropped. Basically, if there's a news drop, I might stream it instead of record a video from now on. That's the plan. It's undecided. I'm going to have to just do whenever is best for me. I suspect that will be Sundays, Mondays or Tuesdays. I don't know. And then depending on how that goes, maybe I'll just start doing it twice a week. Maybe I'll stick to once. I don't know. And it won't always be Kill Team focused. That's the other thing. It will just be a hangout. And I'll be doing whatever I'm doing. There you go. Cool. And of course, if you made it to the end of the video, I would like to give you a big triple hello. Wow. Wasn't that amazing? To the 61 people still in chat, you got that trip. You are the OGs. Oh, yeah. Nobody's called me Glandy today. That's good. Second story, monopod to go. It's also been real, bro. Take care. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good one. I will see you whenever I next stream. But we've got the Easter holiday, so literally no idea when. But you will know about it. Okay. Have a good one, everybody. Stay gangster. Stay hydrated. Eat some cheese. Goodbye.